Welcome to all devotees. Now, today we continue Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Status Quo, and Chapter 6, Creation of the Universal Form. And we try to understand Shloka number 27 and 28. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Phone on the recording.
नारायणं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna. Um, we can recite shlokas 2029. Ātyantikena sattvena divam deva prapedire dharam dharam raja swabhavena panaya echa tan anu tarti en swabhavena bhagvat nabhim ashritah ashritaha ubayoh antaram vyoma ye rudra parshadam ganaha Ātyantikena sattvena divam deva prapedire
Ātyantikena Sattvena Devam Deva Prapedire.
dharam raja swabhavena panayo ye chatan anu
Dharam Rajah Swabhavena Panayam
Tartena swabhavena bhagwan nabhim ashritaha
Kartiyena Swabhavena
ubayoh antaram vyoma ye rudra parshadam ganaha
Upayohantaram Vyoma Yerudra
Ātyantikena sattvena divam deva prapedire dharam raja swabhavena panayo ye chatan anu tartena swabhavena bhagvat nabhim ashritaha ubayoh antaram vyoma ye rudra parshadam ganaha. Hare Krishna.
Ātyantikena Sattvena Devam Deva Prapedire. Dharam Rajah Swabhavena Panayam Kartiyena Swabhavena Bhagwan Abhimashrita
No sound.
Rudra Parshadangana.
Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The demigods, qualified by the super excellent quality of the mode of goodness, are situated in the heavenly planets, whereas the human being, because of their nature in the mode of fashion, live on the earth in company with their subordinates. Living entities who are associates of Rudra develop in the third mode of material nature or ignorance. They are situated in the sky between the earthly planets and the heavenly planets. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In Bhagavad Gita 14.14 and 15, it is said that those who are highly developed in the mode of goodness are promoted to the higher heavenly planetary system, and those who are overpowered by the mode of passion are situated in the middle planetary system, the Earth and similar planets. But those who are surcharged with the mode of ignorance are degraded to the lower planetary systems or to the animal kingdom. The demigods are highly developed in the mode of goodness, and thus they are situated in the heavenly planets below human beings. are the animals, although some of them mingle with human society. Cows, horses, dogs, etc., are habituated to living under the protection of human beings. The word Ātyantikena is very significant in this verse. By development of the mode of goodness of material nature, one can become situated in the heavenly planets, but by excessive development of the modes of passion and ignorance, the human being indulges in killing the animals and who are meant to be protected by mankind. Persons who indulge in unnecessary animal killing have excessively developed in the modes of passion and ignorance and have no hope of advancing to the mode of goodness. They are destined to be degraded to lower statuses of life. The planetary systems are calculated as upper and lower in terms of the classes of living entities who live there. This middle portion of the sky is called Purlok, as confirmed by both Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti and Srila Goswami. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that those who develop in the mode of passion are situated in the middle region. Those who are situated in the mode of goodness are promoted to the regions of the demigods. Those who are situated in the mode of passion are placed in human society, and those who are situated in the mode of ignorance are placed in the society of animals or ghosts. There are no contradiction in this calculation. Conclusion. Numerous living entities are distributed all over the universe in different planets and are so situated in terms of their own qualities in the modes of material nature. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनाभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्विताञ्च नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण। Welcome to our devotees. We giving our obeisance on the lotus feet of the Jagannath ji, Baldev ji, Subhadra Maya, Sudarshan Bhagwan, all acharyas, all gurus, and all assembled devotees who gathering uh, here for hearing the discussion of the Srimad Bhagavatam. We try to understand shloka number 28 and 29 of the chapter 6 of canto 3. Here they describing about uh, the um, um, three mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Demigods who go to the loka of that uh, upper planetary system, who lives on the middle planetary system and who goes under the uh, Pataloga वगैरे etc. And uh, uh, um, uh, they giving the example of the shloka 14 and 15 of the chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita, and they describe about the middle portion of the sky is the poor loka, and as confirmed by the Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Srila Jiv Goswami also. There are no contradictions in this conclusion which they describe in shloka number 29. Prabhuji will tell us nicely. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna. So we are discussing the three modes of nature, the planetary gradation and the path of evolution. So here in these two profound verses, the universal arrangement of the cosmos is explained in terms of the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. That is sattva, rajaha, and tama. Earlier we saw how the planetary systems were described as manifestation of the limbs of the universal form. And now it is explained who resides where and why. The central principle is destination follows qualification. You can mark it. Destination follows qualification. So one's position in the universe depends on the development of one's consciousness, the modes of nature. Like if we see in the 20th shloka, that the discussion is about the demigods who have developed super excellent goodness, and so they reside in the heavenly planets. Human beings, they're still influenced by the mode of passion, and they live on earth along with their subordinates. So, Ātyantikena Sattvena. This word Ātyantikena is extremely significant. Super excellent goodness. So this is not indicating ordinary goodness, highly developed, abundant goodness. So this teaches us that occasional purity is not sufficient. Okay, I'll give donation on Ekadashi to Ekadashi. I will chant rounds festival to festival, like we celebrated Gaur Purnima. Now the next festival we will celebrate is Ram Navami. So occasional purity is not sufficient. Temporary discipline does not elevate consciousness. What is essential is consistency. Hare Krishna. And when goodness becomes deeply rooted, the mind becomes steady, life becomes regulated, and discrimination becomes clear. So one rises naturally towards higher realms. So the demigods, they reside in heavenly planets not by favoritism, but by qualification in sattva-guṇa. And same thing is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So this is a harmony. If you go to the 14th chapter, 14th and 15th shloka, where also it is mentioned goodness, higher planetary system, passion, middle planetary system, ignorance, lower destination. So there is no contradiction. It's only a systematic arrangement. For human beings, they are predominantly in passion. Hare Krishna. So, Rajaha Swabhavena, naturally inclined towards passion. So, passion produces activity, desire, ambition, productivity, and competition. So, human beings are therefore situated in the middle planetary systems, especially Earth. And passion keeps on constantly engaged, neither fully elevates nor fully degrades. So we are kept in motion. This makes human life a junction point. From here, one can rise towards goodness, fall towards ignorance, or transcend all three modes and zoom. And how we transcend the three modes? Through devotion. That is a Panaya, human civilization and subordinates. Humans live with their subordinates. Below humans are animals. And some live within human society. Cows, horses, dogs, even some cats. So they live under human protection. So this shows that human society carries responsibility. Animals are meant to be protected. Civilization is measured by compassion. So when humans protect animals, goodness increases. When humans exploit and kill unnecessarily, passion and ignorance increases. So there is a danger of excessive passion and ignorance. This is a crucial warning. When Raja and Tama become excessive, humans indulge in unnecessary animal killing. Compassion decreases and consciousness degrades. Such persons cannot rise to goodness and are destined for lower births or lower planetary systems. So planetary systems are considered higher and lower based on the quality of consciousness of the beings residing there. The universe is morally structured. It is not random. And when we talk of passion, it is the fever of endless activity. Raja creates restlessness. In passion, one runs constantly, one accumulates endlessly, one lives briefly, but plans as if eternal. So discrimination becomes clouded. Just as sand in the eyes blur vision, passion blurs judgment between dharma and adharma. And so there is interpretation according to one's nature. I was reading one of the lectures notes. There's a traditional teaching which illustrates this principle. When Brahma instructed devas, humans, and asuras with only one syllable, the, each interpreted it differently according to nature. Devas thought dhamana, means sense control. Humans thought dana, means charity. And asuras thought daya, compassion. So the same instruction produces different understanding depending on one's dominant mode. Similarly, the same world is experienced differently according to one's guna. And that is why immediately it is clarified that those who are associates of Rudra, they are developed in the mode of ignorance, which is the third mode. And they reside in the intermediate sky between earthly and heavenly planets. So Tama is the third mode. The verse uses the word Ātyantikena swabhavena. So development of the third. Ignorance produces D3F. Darkness, destruction, delusion, forgetfulness of identity. And such beings are connected with Rudra and reside in the intermediate region. And Bhuvarlo is the intermediate sky. The exact middle region is called Bhuvarlo. It lies between earth and heaven, Svargalok and Bhurlok. Who resides here? Subtle beings, ghostly entities, and associates influenced by them. So this confirms the systematic cosmic distribution of living beings according to the guna. So let us revise it again, the gradation of planetary system. Mode of nature is goodness or sattva-guṇa. Then consciousness is purity and clarity, and residence is in heavenly planets. If mode of nature is raja, passion, consciousness is activity and ambition, giving the residence in earthly planets. And when mode of nature is ignorance, tamaha, consciousness becomes darkness, confusion, and the residence is in lower or intermediate regions. So position follows qualification. So what is the practical application for human life? Human life is predominantly in passion, but it offers opportunity. One can refine passion into goodness, degrade into ignorance, or transcend through devotion. So, how to increase goodness? One cannot artificially force sattva-guṇa. The true method is hearing sacred wisdom, chanting the holy name, honoring prasad, associating with the devotees. So, bhakti is nirguna. It is beyond the modes. So, when one practices devotion, raja weakens, tama diminishes, sattva becomes steady, and eventually one transcends even sattva. Just as water entering the body produces effect, transcendental sound entering the heart produces transformation. What is important is consistency, which is the mark of sattva. So, what are the practical signs of increasing goodness? Rising early, regulated habits, cleanliness, steadiness in practice, reduced agitation. Now, this is what all acharyas say, not necessary that everyone is following. But when they become sattva-guni, automatically everyone follows this. And morning hours naturally favor the sattva. Because without discipline, raja disturbs and tamha pulls down. So anyone can begin bhakti, even from ignorance. But only regulated cultivation sustains. So bhakti and motivation are parallel. So devotion is transcendental, it appears colored by motive. Like for harming others, there is a tamasic tendency. For wealth or prestige, rajasic tendency. For liberation, sattvic tendency. And for pure love of Krishna, nirguna. So external action may look similar. Internal motive determines the quality. And the war happens in the battlefield of the mind. Because the mind resists discipline. Even during chanting, the thoughts wander. Yet one must focus. Just as fire burns regardless of our attention, the holy name purifies when sincerely practiced. And failure during effort is not hypocrisy. Quitting is the real failure. So, conclusion from these verses, we understand the universe operates under precise laws of guna and karma. Elevation and degradation depend on consciousness. Human life is a turning point. Excessive passion and ignorance causes fall down. Cultivated goodness elevates. Devotion ultimately transcends all three modes. So even heavenly attainment is within material nature. The ultimate goal is not merely to rise higher within the cosmos, but to go beyond the modes entirely. Human life is brief, it is restless under passion, but through steady cultivation of devotion, one first stabilization goodness, and ultimately transcends material nature. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, संवेद भक्त वृंद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.